season opening victories. Grand Blanc 27-16 over Swartz Creek. That was a conference game at Grand Blanc, and Powers Catholic struggled some, but made the big plays near the end when they had to. They got a couple of late touchdowns, one to force overtime, and then they won it 26-23 at Owasso. So both teams have the early good start in the Big Nine. So again, it's a broken record with the Bobcats and with the Chargers, but every game, every season between these two schools is telling, Gino.
Like we said, this is no exception this year. It's going to be a great game tonight. The weather is just perfect. The crowd is huge, and there's a lot of excitement in the air. We're going to have fun doing the game, and I hope that everyone watches is going to have fun watching it too, because it's going to be a good football game. These kids aren't going to give up tonight on either side.
Right. Yeah, they're both well coached. You know, we talked in the pregame, Gino, about the respective teams' offenses and defenses. Are there any other aspects of the contest as we take a look at the officials tonight? Ron Routier, Tom Ratzak, Len Stum, Steve Fox, and Dan Resor, the head linesman. Are there any other aspects about tonight's game that you see as being especially critical?
Well, you know, big games like this could come down to the kicking game. And Grand Blanc has a freshman kicker. He's a good one. But it could be important. We'll have to see.
Yeah, okay. We're just about set to go here. Week number 2 of our high school football coverage on Comcast Cablevision. Good to have you along with us, and we're underway. Grand Blanc, the visitors, will be getting the football first, and at the 6-yard line. Straight ahead, good blocking there, and crossing the 25-yard line, finally upended at about the 29-yard line, is Jason Skinner with the good return for the Bobcats.
Well, I really like this Jason Skinner kid. He's a tough-nosed, hard-hitting football player. Watched him last year as a sophomore, and then I was able to see a couple quarters last week, and he's even better this year than was last year.
Here's the Grand Blanc offense now for you. The tight end, Wes Nolde, Maul, Smith, Emiot, Clement, and Fletcher across the front. The split end is Cannon, Kevin Beauchamp, an outstanding signal caller, Nicola, Trout, and Franzel, the rest of the backfield for the Bobcats. First down, and they give it away to number 32, Nick Nicola, the big fullback, and he gets maybe a yard or two just across his own 30-yard line.
You know, this offensive line at Grand Blanc, they're pretty high on the entire line, and both pass blocking and running, and that time we saw a pretty decent hole open up there.
Here's the defense for Powers. Their front four, Buck, Megara, Kujay, and Kujay, they're twins. Boyke, Reynolds, and Meisner, the linebackers, Sage, Miller, Rigel, and Cantley, the secondary. And there's a long one, and it's completed. Beauchamp comes out firing, and he hit his split end, Jeff Blind, along the far sideline. Big yardage across the midfield stripe into Powers territory.
Well, Mike is a well-thrown ball, but it's even better catch. He went up and fought for that football and brought it down. Nice job.
He was pretty well covered on the play.
Yes, he was.
Why, the early evening sunset right in our eyes right now, so forgive us if we lose the sight of the football momentarily. Up here in the press box here, the quaint setting at Holy Redeemer Field, some shifting, 1st and 10 out of the I formation. And Beauchamp gives it away, and a good head start there for the tailback Trout, but the Powers defensive line collapsed quickly on him after a gain of only about a couple.
As a flag, I think we had a little bit too much movement on the Grand Blanc side.
That'll be the first penalty of the evening.
Grand Blanc would move their people around, a lot of motion, a lot of different sets, give a lot of different looks to the opposing defense.
Yeah, Joe Delaney, the head football coach at Grand Blanc, likes to do that. Confuse the opposition if he can, huh?
You know, he's a very creative coach. I've always liked the way that Delaney has coached. I mean, I tell you one thing, he's not afraid to put the ball in the air. He's not afraid to try the trick plays.
We're told by our producer tonight, Tom Skinner, that Delaney has deep roots at Grand Blanc, a Bobcat graduate. Quick pump fake to Stevens.
Good pressure.
Beauchamp is sacked way behind the line of scrimmage. The tandem of number 42, Jason Smith, and it looked like Eric Mather, the fellow senior, was in there as well.
You know, when you talk about keys of the ball game and that kind of thing, well, that's a key right there. That defensive line has to put pressure on Beauchamp, the quarterback of Grand Blanc, and that time they came through, and although that was a very slow developing play, I mean, it didn't look like they were in the trips on our side here. It didn't look like they got into the pass route as quick as they should have.
Yeah, it looked like there was some confusion there, and they switch around again. Beauchamp has the I formation behind him from his own 42-yard line. Second and long, and on the delay, and Trout goes nowhere. Down he goes for a loss back at the 40. Excellent penetration once again by that Powers defensive line, and that they're really establishing themselves in the line of scrimmage early against this high-powered Grand Blanc
Well,
offense.
I tell you what, there were two big plays back-to-back right there, and that's what Powers has to do. They have to penetrate the line of scrimmage. They have to stay in that Grand Blanc backfield. Put pressure on the backfield.
Grand Blanc, third down, and they're calling it 27 to go. They got to get from here to Owasso, folks. They're going to go out of the gun. Beauchamp flings it up there, and nobody within 8 or 10 yards of the football. Looked like he was going for his tight end, number 88, Don Best. But it looked like everybody was well covered in the secondary.
Just covered like a blanket. They, yeah, there was just no chance there, and probably a wise throw just to toss that ball away.
So the punting unit on for Grand Blanc from their 40-yard line. And punting for the Bobcats will be Jeff Blanc, number 10, the junior. He's a strapping 6'5" fellow. And twin safeties back for Powers in the region of their 20-yard line. Blanc gets it away, a short kick, a little wobbly, and it's going to bound down and take a visitor roll and stop at the 23-yard line. So a kick of 37 yards and no return, and Grand Blanc will take that, I would imagine, just about every time.
A good first series. I mean, Grand Blanc had their chances, moved the ball a little bit. Penalty hurt him. Good pressure by the Powers defensive line. Stopped them last two plays.
Both
but
teams,
they're loose, ready to go. They're ready to play now. This is let's talk a key again. This is a key. Can Grand Blanc defense stop this Powers offense?
First and 10 for Powers. Both teams starting their first possession from their own 29-yard line and trying to get away, rolling over his right tackle, number 32, Jack Mather. Good yardage up around his 35. Let's take a look at the Powers offense now. We're going to mark it at the 36, actually. Graham is the split end. Huddleston, Barrows, Hammaker, Johnson, and Jubar across the front. Zengerle, the tight end. Tim Shosky, the quarterback, number 13, lucky 13. And then Mather, the fullback, along with Cardani and Mike Miller in the Charger backfield. 2nd and 3 from their 36, out of the eye. And down goes the tailback, or rather the fullback, Mather. Short gain that time. It's going to bring up a third and about a yard. Defense for the Bobcats now. That's the power offense again for you. We'll get the Bobcat defense on in just a moment. We'll look at this 3rd and 1 yard situation. Good field position for Powers. They can run or pass here, and they give it away to the tailback.
Whoa.
And stumbling, trying to stay on his feet and break the line of scrimmage was number 21 for Powers. That's Ian Engelman. There's the Bobcat defense. The front four consisting of Smith, Greg Johnson, not Gene Johnson. He's up here with me. I feel safe. Steve Beck and Mike Nicola. 3 linebackers, Walker, Lopez, and Duberg. 4 rather, also joined by Jason Coburn. And then the 3 safeties on your screen. Play action, throwing, right in the hand of the Bobcats, number 3, Tim Wilson.
I tell you, the good defensive play, good drop by the linebacker, but Mike, the tight end, was wide open downfield. Number 85 was wide open. He just, let's watch the replay.
Yeah, it looked like the Powers quarterback might have been a little bit tentative throwing the football that first time, Gino. Tim Shosky, the senior. 2nd and 10 now. Powers operating from their own 44-yard line. And they give it away. The big fullback Mather breaking away. Deep into Grand Blanc territory, finally falling down inside the Bobcat 35.
Mike, great example of running with your head up, your eyes open, keep your feet and legs grinding. Didn't have the play, kept us his eyes open, his head up, saw the opening to the left side, took it. Just a good run.
Mather churning for 20 on that one, and it sets Powers up at the 34 of the Bobcats. They're going with twin wideouts now. Mike Miller along with Ryan Sage. And they give it away to Big Nicola again, and this time Grand Blanc wraps him up effectively over there defensively for the Bobcats. Scott Duberg along with Court Nemi.
Just good solid penetration by the defensive team, Grand Blanc.
2nd and 8. Yeah, Mather, 5'10", 200-pound fullback. He's been getting the call a lot in the early going, softening up that Bobcat defense. Shosky looking right, almost slipped, and he's going to be sacked. And the Grand Blanc fans whoop it up, and now the penalty flags come down back around the 40-yard line. Face mask against the Bobcats.
Boy.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. Just a hard rush. I mean, there he's going to be in his face if he didn't slip, but the slip sure didn't help matters. And
boy, that's such a momentum shifter, isn't it?
Oh yes, that is. I tell you what, that face mask is too bad because that's a big play for Grand Blanc, and
yeah, it's going to be all negated and then some, as Powers is going to get an automatic first down out of this. Their third in this drive. And it's going to set the ball up at the 25-yard line of the Bobcats.
Huge penalty right there. Too bad, too, because that was a good defensive effort and a nice rush on the quarterback.
Officials timeout here. They're going to actually measure. I guess it's not an automatic first down in this situation. So they'll bring the sticks out. Boy, the crowd really had an opportunity across the way on the visitors' side to let out a good chorus, and they were silenced very quickly here with 5:50 to go in the first period. And they're a little bit short, so it's going to be 2nd down and about a foot. Ball on the left side hash, and Powers pretty much can do anything in this situation. Here's a good look at the Bobcat faithful who made it north and west here to Holy Redeemer Field. High formation, they got twin wideouts to the wide side of the field. Shosky fakes, pitches, a lot of running room, a lot of daylight, turning the corner inside the 10. 1st and goal for Powers. Halfback Jason Cardani.
Great execution that time, Mike. Quarterback read the ball in there nice, rode it down to the line, saw that that wasn't the play, pulled it out, flipped it back to the tailback, and that's how you run that option play.
Unofficially, the 8th play of the drive coming up. 1st and goal from the 8. Shosky gives it to the tailback. And Grand Blanc stacks him up at the 5. Good surge there by the right side of that Grand Blanc defensive line against Cardani.
Boy, Mike, I tell you, we have some good size on both sides of the ball, defensive line and offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, some big kids out there.
Yeah, you're right. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we move into the broadcast here. 2nd and goal. Powers started their opening drive from their own 29-yard line. Grand Blanc is looking for that classic goal line stand here. Try and recapture the momentum. Shosky, plenty of time. Throws, try to knife it in the end zone there for number 30, Mike Miner.
Well, Mike, he was there.
Yeah.
He was in the crease. Ball was thrown hard, but not as accurate as he would have liked.
So Miner goes out, and in place of him, Corey Graham. Get some fresh legs in there. And Graham is going to split out wide to the left. In the left slot is Mike Miller on 3rd and goal.
I like the option play in this Here it comes
Yep,
this
there
way.
it
He's got to
is.
get hit.
Shosky.
Ooh, he was close to being down.
Yep, and the referee rules that his left knee was down at the 8-yard line, and I believe that's the correct call.
Just great penetration that time. What a big, big play.
Here you take a look at venerable Powers head coach, Bill Tucker. And take special note of the back of his sweatshirt. Never, never, never quit. 17th season directing Powers varsity football. Field goal try now on 4th down. It's going to be from the 15-yard line, a 25-yard field goal. Should be excellent footing for Powers kicker Jason Tremblay. A little bit of a soccer style. The snap and the hold perfect, and the kick, boom, straight through. Emphatically, Powers 3, Grand Blanc nothing. We've got 4:02 to play here in the first period, and a nice drive put together by Powers, and a nice mixture, not so much of running and passing, but of different kind of plays.
Just a good solid drive. They, like I said, Mike, they have that big offensive line, and it looks to me like they can run that option play after it's set up by giving that ball to fullback a few times. The Grand Blanc made a great goal line stand to only allow the field goal. But yeah, that's what Powers wants to do all night. Get out there, take some time off the clock, gain some yards on the ground. Nothing fancy. Just score the points, and good drive by Powers.
Play, 66-yard drive. Tremblay gets the 25-yard field goal, and Powers controlled the football for 4:37 of that first quarter. 3-0. The Chargers over the Bobcats. And we're just about set to go with Tremblay waiting for the linesman's signal from across the way. And Pat McCarthy actually kicking off. And it comes down at about the 8-yard line to John Walker. And straight up to about his 29-yard line on the return.
Well, good coverage that time. Powers came down strong, broke up the wedge that Grand Blanc was attempting to set up, and made a good play.
So with 3:52 remaining here in the first quarter, we get a good look at the field level shot. The Grand Blanc offense, man in motion is blind. Beauchamp rolling.
Good coverage.
Rush coming on, and he just threw it away.
Just threw it away. Probably a smart play, but was that ever covered well by the Powers defense?
Boy, so far the Powers coverage has been there on every pass play Grand Blanc has attempted.
Defensive backs have really played well to this point. But I tell you what, Coach Delaney is going to keep putting the ball in the air. He's not afraid to throw it. He'll just keep running plays at him through the air, and sooner or later he hopes to make that play.
Yeah, he's going to look for every conceivable way to prick that Powers defense. Some stunning on the defensive line, but were they drawn off by the Bobcat offensive line?
Well, it looked like Grand Blanc was pretty set there. Good discipline, and I think Powers did jump. Yes, they did.
Yep. First penalty against the Chargers tonight. Grand Blanc has 2. So it'll be 2nd and 5 now, as number 9 looks over to head football coach Delaney and gets the play call. That's Kevin Beauchamp. Senior really has an outstanding arm. Hasn't been able to get the ball to his receivers yet. They're out of the pro set this time. Beauchamp,
he's got him.
Drop. It's out there, and there was some pushing and shoving out there between Jamal Stevens and the coverage man, Ryan Sage. Let's see what the call is.
Whatever the call is, Sage did make a good play in that initially he was beat on that play and really recovered well, but then got his hands up on the body of the receiver and got called for it.
Yeah, it looked like he got turned around a little bit and lost his sense of where he was on the field. And when he tried to turn around and regain
Watch this play on the top of your screen. Initially, he's beat. Right there, he's beat. Tries to regain and then just gets his hands up there and wasn't looking back toward the ball.
And that was enough to for the referee to throw the flag.
It wasn't much, but you're right, Mike. It was enough, yes.
15-yard call, 1st and 10 Bobcats at their own 49-yard line. Kevin Beauchamp gives it away to Troop. Ooh, and down he goes. An excellent defensive play over there by Matt Riegel.
He came up strong, hard, and secure that time. Mike Riegel made a great play.
Boy, and that's exactly what you want a secondary man to do to come up for run stoppage, huh?
Just
play it aggressively and just meet that ball carrier.
Right at the line of scrimmage, wrap your arms and take him down. That was an outstanding play.
2nd and 10 from the 49-yard line for the Bobcats. Sage comes out, gets a breather. There's a good look at number 18,
just made
Matt
a good
Riegel.
play. Good job.
He's a junior. They're looking on him for a lot of leadership the rest of this year and next. Beauchamp throwing deep to Frenzel, a little bit too far for him along the near sideline at about the 25-yard line. He was open behind that Powers secondary.
It took some time, but he did free himself up, and well-thrown ball, just overthrown. But yes, Mike, he did free himself up, and he was there.
Beauchamp throwing on the run there, just a little bit long. Trout goes out, and Jamal Stevens re-enters the Grand Blanc lineup. 2:30 to go, first quarter. Powers 3, Grand Blanc 0. And Grand Blanc will take a timeout before they're assessed a delay of game call.
A little confusion. Which I'm seeing. We had 4 receivers on this side. We didn't have any on the other side. What's going on, Coach?
I'm not sure where that play is in the old book there, Coach.
I can't remember practicing this one, Coach.
Yeah, here's the next couple of weeks. Pat Daly and William McNeil are scheduled to rejoin you next week for week number 3. They're going to have the Flint Central Indians against Southwestern Academy, and that's when the ball game will be contested on Friday, and then your Comcast Cablevision air dates on Monday and Tuesday. And then week 4, it's going to be Hamady against Atherton. We'll take a look at the smaller schools in Flint High School football. Homecoming for Atherton, and that's always kind of gives an extra zing to the contest, a homecoming game. Yeah, Hamady, we're told, is hot. They've won 8 straight games over the last 2 years, and your air dates for the Hamady-Atherton contest. Boy, once again, a lot of shifting done by Delaney. It really is something to see. They do it well. Beauchamp rolling to his left. Stops, throws across the field for Stevens. Oh! Just couldn't come up with a flat-out diving effort at about the 26.
How about that play at the high school level, though, Mike? That is really exciting.
Yeah,
trips to this side, he rolls to the other side, to the short side of the field,
and it looked
turns all the way around as a right-handed quarterback and throws deep and had him.
Yeah.
Good play.
Yeah, and it looked like they all cut across the field, all the receivers.
Yeah, they did.
You know, I mean, at different depths
rolled left, and all the receivers are trying to run up and catch him there.
4th and 10. Grand Blanc's going to punt now. Their punter, Jeff Blind, is on. Standing at his 35. Gets it away. The rush got kind of close to him. High, short kick. Another Bobcat roll. And it's going to stop at about the 28-yard line. So a kick of 23 yards and no return that time.
Well, I think it's just a matter of time, as in getting their timing down, that Grand Blanc's going to start picking up some yards here. They're starting now to get some receivers open. Now Beauchamp has to start hitting these receivers. They need to make the catch and the run after. But in the meantime, the Grand Blanc defense is back on the field, and this is a critical part of the game. I mean, the defense has got to slow down and stop Powers.
Tim Shosky looking over that Grand Blanc defense. Gives it away. And
that's how you do it.
That's how you stuff the run, folks. Right there.
As you noticed, there was 7, possibly 8 defensive players on that ball that time. That's how you play defense.
Were there 22 players instead of 11 over in the Powers huddle that first play, Gino? I didn't notice. 2nd and 10. They got a split backfield behind Shosky this time. Fake, and the give to Nicola. Boy, he just bounced off one Grand Blanc defender and got about an extra 5 yards from his 30 to his 35.
Good blocking up front, good running, good hard running. I tell you, you'd better wrap these backs from Powers or you're not going to bring them down.
Jack Mather with the football that time, beg your pardon. And let's take a look at the big senior again.
Line play. Just good block by number 66 in there, doing a nice job from the guard position, I believe it was, possibly the tackle. And I think he's the left guard, made a good block there.
Left guard Doug Barrows.
There we go.
3rd and 3. Some stunning by the Grand Blanc linebackers. And once again, big Jack Mather just pounding into the Grand Blanc secondary. First down out to his 43.
Exactly what Bowers wants to do. Pick up 3, 4, 5 yards of crack, eat up the clock. Doing a fine job right now.
Final minute of the first quarter. Boy, and this is just so typical of Powers. They want to crack at you. They want to wear you down. They want to hang on to the football, put together some drives, and then once they got you softened up, then they'll tend to take more chances offensively. Tailback that time, number 21 for Powers, Ian Engelman. Good yardage over his left side.
Just good, solid football. Good offensive line play. I tell you what, he looks to the outside. He had a crease that he could have picked up many yards.
Looks like Powers is able to run equally well over the left or right side,
They
Gino.
sure have showed that tonight. You're right.
2nd and 5, and the clock runs down before Powers can get another play off here, and they've got it out to their own 49-yard line, so it'll just be a quick switch of the football. After 1, Powers 3, and the Grand Blanc Bobcats 0. Pretty closely contested first quarter, but then that's absolutely no surprise to anybody who has followed the Bobcats and the Chargers over the years in the Big 9 Conference. Both teams look to have good football teams again for 1995. Gino, generally, how do you see the Big 9 Conference? How do you see the Big 9 Conference, Gino? What other teams are going to be especially threatening besides the teams we're viewing tonight?
You know, Mike, I really think that there's 5, maybe 6 teams who, maybe 7 teams who can contend for the championship. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know exactly who they are at this point. Let's give it a couple more weeks and let's see.
What happened to your scout? I thought Robert was your scout this year.
I mean, you're asking me a lot there to say who do we think is going to win this conference this year.
I'm asking you to bite too big of a piece of steak there,
way
buddy?
Too big in week 2 there, Mike. Yeah.
Okay.
Certainly both these teams we're watching tonight have a chance to win the championship.
2nd and 5.
Good blocking.
Oh, big gainer.
God.
And he could go down the near sideline. Last man to beat, just couldn't quite get past the arms of the Bobcats' Jason Skinner, number 30. Boy, Skinner bringing down Jason Cardani.
Mike, there was some offensive line play that time. The tight end came down nice, sealed that. Look how they sealed the outside there. Good There's big number 66 coming through, pulling guard there again, making a big play.
Yeah, that was a pickup of 26 yards, and as you mentioned, excellent wide receiver blocking. Really points up the importance of that. And there's the big fella, Mather, 10-5, touchdown!
Wasn't touched. Was not touched, Mike.
Jack Mather bursts through the right side of his offensive line and streaks 25 yards straight up the gut, and the Chargers lead it now 9-0.
Boy, you have to be impressed with that drive, huh?
Oh,
jeez,
man.
I tell you what. There was some play that time. That offensive line of Powers is just coming off that ball, and with those big, quick, strong backs.
Boy, they really, Mr. Outside, Cardani, followed by Mr. Inside, Jack Mather, they really hit him with a 1-2 knockout there on that drive. So it's 9-0, and Powers will try and tack on the point after here. The holder, Shosky, the quarterback for Jason Tremblay, and he barrels it through. 6 plays, 72 yards, and Powers really dominant offensively right now.
Well, the big question prior to the game, in the pregame, we talked about, can the Grand Blanc defense stand up and rise to the occasion tonight against a good, solid Powers offense? And I tell you what, they had their problems in that series.
Yep. All right, so 10-0 our score. Grand Blanc, we know, has the type of offense where they can come back pretty easily.
That's right. I mean, right now they can be back in the ball game, and they will continue to throw the football. And you know, Beauchamp, he's defined his receivers now. I think the plays are developing. So we're still early in this ball game, Mike.
Oh yeah. All right, kickoff now. It's going to be Pat McCarthy, the senior, for Powers. And he's going to be kicking to Jason Skinner, number 30, is the deep man, and he's flanked by John Walker, number 21, on the near side, and Jamal Stevens on the far side. McCarthy to Skinner at the 7. Good head of steam across his 20, and he got twisted around his face there, and that's going to get the face mask call out around the 25-yard line, so that'll push it up to the 35 or 40.
Boy, he really did get it hard that time too, and you know, I don't like to see that. You know, you don't tackle up around the head in the first place, and boy, that was really obvious there. That was
2 things, Gino. First of all, we know that Bill Tucker and his coaching staff doesn't teach it or approve it.
Right.
And second of all, thoroughly unintentional. I mean, just one of those things, you're grabbing for the body and you reach a little bit higher than maybe you anticipate and you grab the bars.
Well, yes, Mike, you're right. It's nothing intentional out there, but when you're going to make a tackle, you're keeping your eyes open and you're looking for a spot on the body to tackle, and you're not, your head's not down grabbing with your arms. And
all right, from the 40. They're going to go from the gun. Man in motion is Frenzel. They're going to keep their backs into block.
Great
Beauchamp throws for Frenzel, and it's intercepted. Pass maybe underthrown just slightly and picked off by Powers' Mike Miller.
Miller had him all the way, all the way. Good defensive position that time.
So that's the first turnover of the contest. Powers gets the ball back after the first play on that series for
we
the
watch
Bobcats.
the replay, Mike. Watch a defensive position, number 10 out here, the bottom of your screen. Had it the entire way. Never was really challenged, though. Never was threatened by the throw nor the route. Ooh!
Fumble quickly there. Powers covers up.
There's some popping going on now. Now here we go. Starting to heat up now, Mike. That's what I like. This is Grand Blanc Powers right now.
That's right. That's right. Both teams are really warming up to their collective task here. 10:41 to play before halftime, and we've got timeout for Powers now. Each team has taken a timeout tonight. Bill Tucker's going to go right out there and talk with his offense. Quarterback Tim Shosky and company. In case you just joined us, Powers led 3-0 after the quarter break. They got a 25-yard field goal from kicker Jason Tremblay that capped an 11-play drive. And then Powers got the ball back after Grand Blanc moved it to around the midfield stripe. Then Grand Blanc had to give it up, and Powers took the ball on their 28. And in a drive that took just 2 minutes and 15 seconds, they went 6 plays, 72 yards to pay dirt.
Coach Schramm's out there, the defensive coordinator for Grand Blanc, really giving his team a pep talk, trying to get these guys ready to go. It's key stop right now. I mean, the defense has to rise to the occasion. Sudden change, we call it. I've talked about it before. Offense has the ball, throws the interception, fumbles the football. Defense turns around, comes right back on the field. Now they have to rise to the occasion.
Yeah, you really get the feeling like the Bobcat defense has to help out their offense here. Second down. Ball at the 38 of the Chargers. And they fake a double counter. Shosky flings it up there. Oh, they had a man wide open deep, and it's picked off by the Bobcats. Way deep in the secondary and open for Powers was Ryan Zingerle, but Shosky got it way up in the air, and I think the wind held it up and allowed Powers, the Bobcats, Jason Skinner, to come down with the INT.
You know, it really did look like that wind just pushed that ball back, because you're right, he had him deep. But Skinner, good defensive player, made a good play.
In the true tradition of every Skinner I've ever known, excellent defender. From the 30, Beauchamp gives it away, and looked like the fullback there, or rather the tailback Trout.
You know, I like what Coach Delaney has done now, or did right there anyway. He went back to that running game. That part of the football game is still important for Grand Blanc. They love to throw the ball, but if they're going to go up there and throw, then Power's going to sit back on their heels, and that's truthfully what they've been doing so far.
That's Franzel in motion. They give it straight ahead, and trying to bounce off tacklers once again is the fullback this time, Nick Nicola. Got a couple of yards, tough ones, to maybe the 36 or 7. I think Grand Blanc wants to go back to their fundamentals some and try and establish an edge along the line of scrimmage.
Well, they need to, yes. That's very important. That's very important with any passing team. They need to establish, just like you said, Mike, that line of scrimmage, and got to get those linebackers coming up looking run first, and they haven't been to this point. They've been looking pass, and here we go. He's got him deep.
Well, Beauchamp showed us his arm, but he threw it about 5 yards past Jamal Stevens, sprinting along the near sideline, and once again, the coverage was right on him. Ryan Sage running with Jamal Stevens. So 4th and 3, and Joe Delaney's not going to take any chances here from his 37-yard line. He's going to punt the football away.
Mike, it's not my position to question any call of the coach, and that's not what I'm doing, but we had 3rd down and 3, and we go for 23 yards. When you have to, it's very important that you keep the football, and you know, in those situations, I'd like the back coming out of the backfield, the tight end over the middle, something quick, pick up 4 or 5 yards, get the 1st down, keep the ball. Whoa, partially blocked it looked like.
Yeah, it really did look like the Chargers got a little piece of the football, and whooping it up as he comes to the sideline is number 88 for the Chargers. That's Vince Hulber, and he may have just gotten a little piece of the football, sent it just barely into Powers territory at the 49-yard line, so a kick of really about 16 yards. That's it. Powers takes over. Excellent field position, leading in the football game 10-0 with 8:50 to go here in the 2nd quarter. From their own 49. Grand Blanc blitzing and bashing that running back in the backfield. Excellent play there. The ball carrier, Ian Engelman. Rudy Lopez.
Good quickness, good quickness.
He saw the 2 and the 1, and he stuck his helmet right in there. Loss of 3, back to the 46-yard line. 2nd down, Powers. Grand Blanc going with that 4-man front, but they'll shoot those linebackers in quick if they can. Pro set behind the quarterback. Shosky escapes the rush, rolling, escapes another man. Down he goes at the 49-yard line. A short pickup for him, back to the original line of scrimmage. John Walker over there to drop it.
Just good hustle. I mean, there was several occasions there I thought he was going down, and he stiffed arms, sidestepped, and got the ball back to the line of scrimmage.
Shosky rolled to his right, straight off. Looked like that was a planned play, that he was going to roll and maybe buy some extra time and then look downfield. 3rd and 10. Shosky looking at that 5-man Grand Blanc front. And they shoot the linebackers in that time, and going down is Cardani.
Cardini has to stay outside on that. That play was developing to the outside, and the blockers were outside, not back inside. And I tell you, we're going to see that play again because it was there on the corner. They had the corner turned.
It was Matt Buck with the football that time. Got it down to the 46-yard line of Grand Blanc, but they're still about 7 yards shy of that first down. They're going to have to punt the football. Jeff Engel, the junior punter, standing at his 40-yard line. Twin safeties back there. Jamal Stevens on the near side. Low snap, and Engel did a good job of scooping that up. And it comes down. This is Skinner trying to swing to the near side. Turns the corner. And he got it up to the 33-yard line, a return of about 16 yards there.
You know, that was a good return. Good, gutsy. Skinner has good speed, and he certainly showed it to us right there.
Yeah, he did a lot of east-west running there, but it turned out well for him.
Yeah. I like the way he plays football. Liked him last year. I like him this year even more. I think he's a tough-nosed kid. He's going to be a good one for Grand Blanc.
Bobcats 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. They've got 6:20 to play with before halftime. Down 10-0. I formation. Give the deep man.
Nowhere.
Not very much, that's for sure. Number 34 for the Bobcats, Rocky Hoskins.
About a yard up to 35 with second 9.
Once again, Grand Blanc running a little bit to set up the throw, the passing game.
Boy, both of these defenses starting to assert themselves. In the second quarter, we've had no drive of more than 3 plays. It's been 3 and out or an exchange of interceptions, what we've seen. Franzel in motion to the wide side. Option. Beauchamp barely got it away. Hoskins. And he is knocked down. Upstairs and downstairs. The tandem of Aaron Cantley and Tom Boyke got him.
Number 98, Tom Boyke.
You know, that play was slow developing, but it was not a bad option play. But the cornerback and the defensive end just closed in a hurry, Mike, and made a big play.
Yeah, it really looks like Powers has done some preparation for an opposition's option attack, in this case, the Bobcats. 3rd and 7, and Kevin Beauchamp moves his receivers around, trips on the near side. They're clustered close together. He's going to look to the other side. Trying to escape that rush, barely did so and threw it to nobody.
No, no one's there.
And then the penalty flag comes out of the side judge's back pocket.
I tell you what, the pass routes are taking an awful lot of time now for Grand Blanc once again. They started out the ball game like that. It seemed like they were taking a long time to get into the routes, speaking of the receivers. Then they got a little better in that second series, but it looks like, boy, there's taking a lot of time to, you know, they need 7, 8 yards, get down there, run 7, 8 yards, and turn around, here comes the ball. That's what Grand Blanc needs to do.
And there's the referee, good close-up him making the call. So it's going to send Grand Blanc all the way back inside their 20-yard line. In fact, all the way back to the 13-yard line.
Huge penalty right there. I mean, geez.
Yeah, 3 penalties now for Grand Blanc. That's like a 25-yard penalty.
Mike, I didn't get his number, and we'll get that because I'm going to watch him on this play. But the defensive end of Powers that play made a great play, staying upfield to the outside, making sure Beauchamp was not going to get to his outside and get around him. He made that play.
I believe that might have been Brian Meisner, number 22, okay. Gino.
Well, Brian, you made a nice play.
Good kick and a good run back there. The kick by Grand Blanc's Kevin Warren, and the return by Jason Cardani. Along the near side, Powers, beautiful shape at the 28-yard line of Grand Blanc. 4:36 to go before halftime. Boy, Powers could really send the Bobcats reeling here if they can stick it in the end zone. I formation behind Shosky. Gives it away to Big Jack Mather.
Look at that.
He just pounds his way into the interior of that Grand Blanc defense.
Mike, he was hit absolutely at the line of scrimmage and picked up 7 yards.
Yeah.
And he was hit hard at the line of scrimmage.
Well, he sure has them recoiling, doesn't he?
Oh. Strong backs.
2nd down and 2. The ball just on the outside of the 20-yard line. And they're going to send out to the left, Corey Graham. I formation. And they give us to the tailback.
21, Engelman, ball carrier.
Ian Engelman, the ball carrier. Might have the first down there. Let's see where they spot the football.
First down, Chargers.
It is a first down for the Chargers. Boy, and that's all that Bill Tucker and his coaching staff want to do right now is just move the sticks, eat up some nice clock, get it down to where Grand Blanc really can't come back on them before halftime, and more importantly, put some more points on the scoreboard.
You're exactly right, Mike. Just 2, 3 yards, 4 yards at a crack here.
Sage to the left, Tinnin to the right. Orlando Tinnin and Big Jack Mather. Once again, lowering the boom straight up the middle, close to the 10.
Boy, there's some good, once again, good offensive line play by Powers, but there's some big, strong, aggressive backs coming out of that backfield too, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, that we wanted to talk about that, Gino. Powers' offensive line, 220, 220, 210, 180, and 240, the right tackle anchor, Aaron Jubar. And once again, Big Jack Mather, 1st and goal for Powers.
You know, Tommy Skinner may have been able to run through that hole, Mike. I mean, that's how big that hole was. Now think about that. Now that's some line play there.
Yeah. I thought about it for just an instant. I don't want to think about it anymore.
You know, Mike, you're right. They're big in size, but they're also quick of foot.
Yeah.
This is a good line. I'm surprised a little bit, to be honest with you, about how quick this line is for how big they are.
Yep. They spread out the receivers, give it to Engelman.
Wow.
Touchdown.
Yep.
Well, Ian Engelman just followed his excellent forward blocking there straight into the end zone. Simple as pie. 5 plays, 28 yards. Powers leads it 16-0.
Domination there, and give all the credit, a lot of the credit anyway, to that offensive line of Powers coming off the ball.
Let's see if we can look at that touchdown run again. Yeah, well,
that's the fun part of it right there. Getting up after the touchdown.
That's right. All right, the holder is Shosky for Jason Tremblay. Snap, excellent.
Oh!
And it was blocked. Boy, it looked like Tremblay just didn't get the football up as quick or as high as he wanted to there. So it stays 16-0.
That possibly was the first mistake Powers has made tonight. Total breakdown there, though. Coach Tucker's not going to like that.
Well, this gives him something to talk about at halftime.
There we go. There we go.
That's all. All right, Engelman with a 2-yard run, 5 plays, 28 yards there. And Powers dropped that clock down from 4:36 to 2:30 exactly. Boy, that drive actually was maybe a little bit too efficient as we take a look at the Powers coaching staff along the near sideline.
My buddy Jimmy Newman. Looks like he's still running.
Did he run the crim?
I'm sure he did, Mike. He looks like he's back in shape, and look at it. He looks good. And it does a great job for Powers, too.
At least I know somebody this year that ran the crim. All right, the kickoff. High end over end. Nice Skinner at the 8. Straight up ahead. Excellent blocking that time by the Grand Blanc kick team. Good return by Skinner out to his 31.
Tell you what, Grand Blanc has to find a way to get the ball to the receivers quicker than what they have tonight. Got to run the shorter routes, get them the ball quicker. It's just taking an awful lot of time for the plays to develop.
And we're still looking for that Bobcat passing attack that was so efficient in their opener, which was a win, of course, for them. And they keep it on the ground that time, and plunging over his right side was the Bobcats' number 34, Rocky Hoskins. Got a couple of yards. Yeah, Beauchamp was 20 of 26 last week for 210 yards and 3 scores. Jamal Stevens caught all 3 of those touchdowns from Beauchamp. So we know Grand Blanc has the capability to really fire out on all cylinders through the air.
Let me tell you right now, they are not out of this ball game down 16-0. I will tell you that. But they do need to get that passing game going. There's a quick hit.
And that's a first down, and that's got to be one of your favorite plays, Gino, because that's simply to the tight end, Wes Nolde.
That's what I liked. Throw the ball to the tight end. Get him down there 7, 8, 9 yards, and give him the football. But, you know, with a minute to go in the half, maybe we're not going to see that right now. But I tell you what, when Grand Blanc comes back after halftime, we have to see that from their offense.
First down out to the 42-yard line. Beauchamp brings him up quickly, splits out the tight end Andy Coates to our side. And across the way is Brock Cannon. Good protection. Beauchamp throws it up for Cannon. Stride for stride. The ball tipped and then tipped a third time, and nobody came down with it. Excellent bottling of Cannon along the far side of the field by Mike Miller.
Good coverage, good effort by both the receiver and the defensive back Miller, and a good throw. Watch this. Beauchamp comes back, lays it up there real nice, and finally throwing ball. Look at him fight for it.
Boy, that's just a pretty play all the way around.
Yes, it is.
Clock stopped with 59 seconds before halftime. Sun now down over the trees, off in the Owasso direction. Beautiful night for football. Nice and cool for week 2, and Beauchamp goes down on the sack. It was Matt Buck. An excellent football name, getting him from behind.
Pressure on the quarterback is the key to stopping any passing game, at any level, and that's what we're seeing tonight. Beauchamp is hurt, though. He's got to walk that off a little bit. Looked like he twisted the ankle.
Yeah. Jeff Blind is in, and looks like he may take a snap or two as Beauchamp tries to regain some equilibrium. Doesn't look like it's serious, fortunately. 40 seconds left to go in the first half. Powers leads at 16-0. They led it just 3-0 after the first quarter, but they've since put 2 impressive touchdowns on the board. The first one, they started and finished a 72-yard drive, which took just 6 plays. That was early in the second period. And then they just really got great field position, worked for and got great field position, and cashed in pretty much immediately. Engelman with the 2-yard run, and that finished off a 5-play, 28-yard drive with just over 2 minutes left to go in the second quarter. 16-0 after the blocked extra point. All right, third down now, 18 for Grand Blanc, and it's Jeff Blind behind center. Sends Jamal Stevens in motion to the wide side. Looks for Stevens. Throws it up there.
Whoa!
Interference. Whoa. That's going to go against Mike Miller. Boy, they've been after Miller a lot lately in that Powers secondary, haven't they, Gino?
They sure have, you know, and overall the first half he's had a whale of a football game, but he was definitely beaten. How about Blind just throwing the ball up there?
He was pretty accurate with his first pass, huh?
Yeah, he threw a nice tight spiral like that, put it up there, let the receiver run under it. Look how he lost that ball up there. Well thrown ball.
Well, that's a big call that's going to go in favor of the visitors. And they've been hungry for something good, something that they can latch onto.
You know, we
and the
talked
penalty
about
out to the 49.
we talked about the kicker, the freshman kicker that Grand Blanc has, who's a fine kicker, can really boot the football, but they need a few more yards.
Yeah, they need to put together a couple of big plays here. Looks like it could be the bleachers at Tiger Stadium in a brighter year, say 1984. From their own 49. Blind looks over the four-man Powers defensive front. Got Jamal Stevens to the near side. He's double covered. Looks for him. Got it.
Great throw.
Oh,
and
man.
Great route.
How did he get it in there? He got it just past the Powers linebacker, John Reynolds, and Jamal Stevens was double covered. They still made the connection.
I tell you, if we have that on replay, I don't know if we do, but the point I was going to make is that both wideouts were double covered right at the line of scrimmage. They're trying to jam him with two defenders on both sides right at the line of scrimmage. And watch the replay. Watch how he gets away from both of them in the
Seconds left to go. He took a little Comcast breather there. Grand Blanc also took time out there, second of the first half. The ball at the 41-yard line of Powers. The down marker has second down, but that's really irrelevant at this point. Grand Blanc wants to click on another nice offensive play or two, get the ball at least into prime field position here for a three-point try. Everybody close in together. Jeff Blind, the backup quarterback, has done an excellent job since coming on in relief of Kevin Beauchamp. Now they float into the shotgun formation. Beauchamp, we may well see him in the second half, but everybody off before the ball was snapped back to Jeff Blind.
Tell you what, Grand Blanc, after the shift, got what they were looking for, the single coverage on the wideout.
Yeah, Steve Franzel was out there on the far side.
Yeah, was that
It looked like
Franzel,
he
Mike?
he just got really excited there and just got off the ball too soon.
Well, I tell you what, not only him, there were 6 or 7 players who moved, so possibly the center held onto the ball just too long.
Yeah. Powers calls timeout with 19 seconds to go in the first half. So Grand Blanc only lost a second there.
Well, they shouldn't have lost anything because it was a dead play. We should have 20 seconds, not 19 on the clock.
Yeah, and I think that's what the referee is coming over to tell the folks here at the press box. They're going to reset at 2:20. It'll be second and a long 5 now for Grand Blanc. And they're pushed back to the Powers 46-yard line.
Look at Coach Tucker out there coaching the kids.
Yep.
What he does
Career
best.
coaching record of 114 and 39. How many years in a row have they made the state high school football playoffs in Class Single A?
That's a good
Or
question.
Class B, I guess they're in.
Class B, yeah. That's
Double B. Thank you very much, Tom Skinner, our producer. It's tough keeping 8 separate high school football classes in order, you know? And it's week 2. Come on. We're entitled. We're going to be more engaged. In week 8, I'm going to have that stat down cold. I'm telling you that.
I'm not going to promise you I'm going to have it down.
Second and 5.
I'm going to do some shifting. I'm going to try to get the single coverage.
You know, they never did restore that game clock to 20 seconds. It's at 19. Oh, and they went with a running play, and it didn't work. They're going to call their last timeout now. Yeah, they went with a fullback, Nicola, and he just got a couple of pretty much meaningless yards.
Yeah. Why? I guess I have to ask why.
Well, I think it's one of those play calls. If it works, boy, you look great. But if it doesn't, there's a lot of people scratching their heads.
Give Power some credit on that play to stay home and keep their eyes and their heads up.
Yep. Fight off the blocks, get the job done.
That's
15
right.
seconds to go now, and Grand Blanc is out of timeouts. So I think that's the last running play we're going to see in the first half. I'm bold enough in week 2 to make that call. Yeah, you know, thinking about Power's long-time success in high school football, they've made the playoffs, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 years running, if memory serves me. Nice record. Bill Tucker always has Powers playing better and better football every week, and isn't that the mark of a well-coached team?
He's got the coverage they want.
Well, he just flung it up there for his tight end and just couldn't come around to catching the football. Having the inside track on the football actually was Aaron Cantley of the Chargers. The pass intended for tight end Wes Nolde. So Grand Blanc on 4th down now. I would imagine they're going to try and hit something instead of down the middle, try and shoot for one of the sidelines and maybe get out of bounds. Then get their field goal team on.
This quarterback Blanc, who has come in there, tall kid, looks but 6'5", it has a nice arm on him. I mean, I like the way he's played to this point.
Now there's the shifting now.
Look at the movement.
Yeah, West is moving. Andy Coates is moving. He's wide right. Stevens to the left. They're going to go to Stevens.
Look at the throw.
They're going to go to Stevens. Oh! Just past him. Penalty flag down.
Look at that. Do we have pass interference?
At the 10.
Look at that.
3 seconds to go on the first half clock, and it's going to go against Powers. Wow. Oh, man.
Wow. Yeah, as our producer Tom Skinner indicated to us, Powers has lots, or rather Grand Blanc has lots of depth at the receiver position. Mike. Well, look at the arm. Yeah. The receiver, look at the arm from the quarterback.
And you know, he didn't look like he threw the ball hard.
No, I tell you, gotta like what looks like we have a field goal try. This is gonna be fun.
Garvin Ringwelski.
He can do it.
Yeah, this is the freshman that you spoke about to me, Gino.
He can kick it. He can kick it. This is a long ways. He got a little breeze at his back. The key is to give him just a half a second longer than you normally would.
The ball will be spotted at the 34. This is a 44-yard field goal try by the freshman. Garvin Ringwelski, and he's going to be short by about 10 yards. And that's the first half. Well, he'll get a lot better on it. He's got a long high school kicking career ahead of him, man. Boy, Joe Delaney gathers his team around him right away. We're not going to wait until we get in the locker room. We're going to talk right now.
I think we're going to see a different second half.
At any rate, that's a half. 16-0, Flint Powers over Grand Blanc. We'll start enjoying our halftime activities and come back with another second half of exciting high school football for you on Comcast Cablevision right after we watch this.
Is the junior varsity contest.
Disappointing. For this season's broadcasts, and boy, Gino, it's always fun working with you, and this one is a little more lopsided than we thought it was going to be after the first half. Powers 16, Grand Blanc 0. How come?
Well, we just had second quarter domination by Powers' offensive line, basically. Those hard running backs, they did exactly what they wanted to do. The big line opened up the holes, and the backs hit them in a hurry, and away they went. They ate up the clock. They scored. They did what they had to do. That with some real good defensive play from Powers, too. I mean, the defensive backs are just staying with those receivers. The line and the linebackers are putting big pressure on the quarterbacks, and really, it was dominated by Powers.
Grand Blanc had 4 first downs by my count in the first half. They had no drive of longer than 6 plays. And 2 of those 4 first downs took place right at the tail end of the half when they actually put together a 9-play drive that ended up in a field goal that fell far short. So the Powers' assertiveness defensively certainly was there.
They're doing a good job. To beat that, I believe, my opinion is that the Grand Blanc offense has to go under that coverage instead of trying to go over it.
And they started doing that at the end of the first half.
And you could see where it was there. There were those 6-7 yards, wide receivers coming underneath the coverage and the tight end and crossing the field and that type of thing. Number one, the quarterback has not had the time. He needs to get rid of the ball in a hurry. Number two, the defensive backs are playing very good football, covering the receivers very good deep, You need to bring them back.
Yeah, I thought that the backup quarterback who came in for heralded Kevin Beauchamp really did a nice job. Jeff Blind, you saw a little bit of our upcoming schedule there flash before you, and we'll look at that a little bit more in depth as we move along in the second half here. We're getting ready for the third quarter kickoff here.
This Blind, speaking of the second team quarterback coming in Blind, we saw in the second quarter, this guy has a rocket for an arm. I mean, this guy, he has an arm. There's no question about that. We don't know who we're going to see. We're going to see the veteran Beauchamp, who's a very good ball player, a very good quarterback, come back, or we're going to see the Blind quarterback. No, not the Blind quarterback. The quarterback named
Jeff Blind, the quarterback.
Yes, come back with that good arm. But no matter what they do, they're going to have to hit some shorter passes. They're going to have to do something out there to establish some type of drive offensively.
And also we talked about the inability of Grand Blanc to get Jamal Stevens the football enough. He scored 3 touchdowns last week in their opening game win. They have to simply get him the football and hope that he can break off some big ones. All right, kickoff. Grand Blanc is going to kick it away. That's Wes Moll, number 75. Kicks it to the far side. Picking it up there is the normal tailback for Powers. And Grand Blanc's kickoff team really got down the field and dumped Jason Cardani. All right, here's the Powers offense. We'll reintroduce it for you. Corey Graham is the split end, number 11. They didn't pass much in the first half. Huddleston, Barrows, and the rest of the offensive line, and then your backfield. There we go again. Barrows, Hammaker, Johnson, and Jubar. Ryan Zengerle, the tight end. Shosky, the quarterback. Mather, big first half for him. He's a bulldozer. Cardini, the halfback. He had some good runs in the first half. And Mike Miller. Straight ahead. And that was Mather, I believe. Out across the 10-yard line on first down. Here's the Grand Blanc defense. I like the way that football player comes over and kind of sets up the ledger for us. Smith, Johnson, Beck, Nicola goes both ways. Walker does as well, along with the other linebackers, Rudy Lopez and Duberg. Coburn, Wilson, Hawkins, and Jason Skinner, the secondary. And breaking off a big run is Cardani out across his 20-yard line to the 27, maybe 8.
I tell you what, if they're going to bring those linebackers have to come in and watch that football, and that time just put this head down and they brought him in a hurry. Watch how they bring the linebackers there and ran right by the ball carrier. Got to watch that football. Got to keep your eyes and head up.
Maybe a little over-aggressiveness on the part of the Grand Blanc defensive 11 there. 1st and 10. Powers out their 27. And they give it away to Big Jack Mather, and it takes 3 or 4 Bobcats to bring him down.
No, one defensive player is not going to bring Mather down tonight.
Yeah, no.
Hasn't happened yet, and I don't think it's going to.
Won't happen much this season.
Big, strong running back.
Got it out to his 30. 2nd down. Powers starting on the first possession of the second half at their own 8-yard line. Well, let's see if Grand Blanc could force Powers to throw the football here on 2nd down and 8. Nope, they stay with a running game. Shosky giving it away to Cardani, and down he goes. Drilled over there by, looked like number 40, or rather 37 rather, that's Greg Johnson. And he got some help over there from Keith Hawkins coming up. 3rd and 8. Boy, this is a situation that Grand Blanc wants to get the Chargers in. Let's see if they can cash in defensively. High formation. Shosky on the option. Fumbled the football. The pitch kind of fluttered back there to Jason Cardani, and Cardani fell on the football, but way back at his 21-yard line for a big loss of 9.
Boy, you're going to run that play, you got to pitch that ball right into the belly of that back.
Yeah, you really have to pitch with authority. Yep. Authority is the key word there. Now they're going to send Jamal Stevens and the halfback Jason Trout back to field this punt. And the coaching staff for Grand Blanc is going to move both of the return men up to the 45-yard line. You got a good look at them. And the kick is away. It's an excellent punt. Truitt at his 49, cuts straight up the field. excellent return to the 41 of Powers.
I'm going to tell you what, that was a good return, but what a defensive play by number 30, Mike. Give me number 30, Mike Miner for Powers. I'll tell you what, he fought off 2 blockers and made that tackle himself. Nice job.
We mentioned Miner's name several times tonight for the Chargers. All right, here's the Bobcat offense again. Wes Nolde, the tight end. Maul, Smith, Emiot, the center. Clement, Fletcher, the right side of that offensive line. And then Brock Cannon, the split end. And we'll bring up that offensive backfield again if we can, Mr. Skinner, as Beauchamp gives it away to the tailback Truitt. The quarterback, Kevin Beauchamp, he's starting the second half after getting that ankle twisted around a little bit late in the first half. Nick Nicola and Truitt are his backfield. Steve Franzel, he's kind of been the quiet man at the wide receiver position for Grand Blanc. Look for him to get a little bit more active in the offense this second half.
He's a good one, Mike. He's important to the offense, too.
2nd and 7. Grand Blanc from the Powers 37.
He's got
excellent
the
hole for Truitt.
What a cut.
Oh, that was a great cut, wasn't it, Gino?
Oh,
close to the 20-yard line of the Chargers.
Fine run. That was a fine run.
And on the counter play, let's credit the great straight-ahead drive blocking by the Bobcats.
No question, there was a crease there, but he found that crease a couple times. That was a nice run.
26 yards.
Watch Blanc came in as a receiver now. The second-team quarterback is a wide out now.
That's right. He's wide left. In the slot, Brock Cannon. High formation. Beauchamp to Truitt. And he got it maybe inside the 20 before he stumbled down. And here's the Charger defense for the second half. Matt Buck, followed by McGarra. Kujay and Kujay, the defensive tackle and defensive end, they're twins. Boyke, one of the linebackers, along with Reynolds and Meisner, and the secondary of Sage, Mike Miller, Matt Regal, and Aaron Cantley. 2nd and 9, Grand Blanc with their furthest penetration into Charger territory tonight at the Charger 20. Early in the second half, and Kevin Beauchamp's going to call an early Bobcat timeout.
Well, he definitely saw something there, Mike. You don't see that a lot at the high school level. A quarterback has enough wits in him and intelligence to look out over that defense and see that there's absolutely no way they can run a particular play, and took the timeout.
We're going to take a look at that formation again. Is there anything there in the power side, Gino?
Well, I don't. Obviously, there is. There's something there. I don't see it there. They're doubled up on top. Yeah. Well, basically what you have, Mike, you have an awful lot of people to protect just a few receivers. 1, 2, you've got the linebackers there. You have the safety sneaking up.
Hard to tell. At any rate, what Beauchamp did see confused him, and he spends a timeout. All right, Jamal Stevens to the right, and that's Brock Cannon. Boy, another great football name there, split left. Single coverage out there both ways, and Beauchamp looking for Jamal Stevens, his favorite target, wide open! Oh, the ball just a little bit behind Stevens. He was open deep on the far side of the end zone.
With a little more zip on that ball, that's a touchdown. Give Miller some credit to come back and knock it down, though. What a recovery on the defensive back. Watch the top of your screen. You'll see he's there, wide open, wide open. Tell you what, Mike, you have to find a way, though, to plant yourself and come back to that football. You've got to find a way to get your hands and body back toward the football to prevent that defensive man from doing just what he did.
All right, they split out.
Look at Mike Miller. He's had a fine game tonight.
Yep.
He's had a nice ball game.
Stevenson, Franzel to the right. Beauchamp, once again, plenty of time, has the protection, throws it deep, once again, towards Stevens, but that time it wasn't close. And once again, Miller back there, ably supplying the coverage.
Miller's saying, come on, guys, keep coming my way. Bring it my way. I love the challenge. He's doing a nice job.
4th and 9. And let's see what Joe Delaney over on the Grand Blanc coaching side has in his playbook here.
Well, I tell you what, he needs 9 yards. He doesn't need a touchdown. He needs 9 yards.
It's an excellent point, Gino. Let's see if Grand Blanc works a play that will supply those 9 yards. Keep the stick moving.
That's the tight end. There he is. Good
Oh,
play.
that's Nolde. 1st and goal, and Gino, that was the call to get the 9 yards and set up the 1st and goal.
Grand Blanc, they have to do that. Watch the replay there. We have double tight ends. This side staying in, the other side just snuck out, ran a little pick there. And
I was going to say, it kind of looked like one of the Powers defenders might have been slowed up a little bit by Brock Cannon.
that was a good call. Good throw, good route. Got a good tight end there. I tell you, really think they need to utilize this tight end.
Yeah, it looks like
He's got some good speed, good hands.
1st and goal from the 6. Far side hash. They give it to the up man. That's Nicola. To the 4, maybe 3. Grand Blanc's not messing around here.
No, they're not. They're playing good offensive football right now. That line's starting to pick their heads up a little bit, get a little stronger, get a little meaner in there. Doing a nice job at this point.
This is what we look for Grand Blanc to do a little bit more of in the 1st half. Emphasize that short passing game, that running game. And not try and strike for the whole enchilada so often. 2nd and goal from the 3. Split backfield. Beauchamp lost it up corner.
Got interference. Interference.
Well, it looked like even if Jeff Blanc, number 10, came down with the football that he would have been out of bounds, but Powers helped him out. Oh, they called it on Grand Blanc.
Oh my gosh. Let's watch this. Let's see if this is offensive interference. No, this is defense.
It's going to be walked off against Powers.
There's no question about it. That wasn't offensive interference. Defensive interference. It was obvious.
Yeah. You folks could see it as well as we could. Automatic 1st down. 1st and goal, Bobcats from the Powers 2. Unofficially 8th play of the drive here. Kevin Beauchamp surveying that Powers defense. Gives away to Nicola. Sneaking under.
Oh.
No indication from the referee yet. Still waiting. Boy, just short. Boy, they don't have much farther to go.
No, do it again right there. I tell you what, I run the same play. Send Big Nicola right in there. Follow that offensive guard and center block straight ahead.
Oh, and you like
challenge your offensive line right now on 2nd down.
Don't you like the way Nicola's running the football here near the goal line, getting as low as he can?
Well, this is a different Grand Blanc offense that we're watching. This is a tough offense here.
Nicola's a single setback over the left side. Oh, I don't know.
Easy. It wasn't easy. Did he get in?
I don't think so.
Got to do it again.
Boy, I think they're closer, if that's possible.
You got to do it again. Great defensive stand by Powers, though. How about this?
Oh, it's 3rd down, baby. 3rd and goal.
They're coming right at you. Defensive line, linebackers. Battle of the trenches right now.
Oh,
this is what it's all about.
This is part of the best part of football. The irresistible offensive force against the immovable defensive object.
On the 1-inch line.
And both sides are saying, bring it on.
That's right. And they are, too.
Split backfield behind Kevin Beauchamp. Field level look for you.
No.
Oh, my. And Nicola would have been in the end zone easily. Oh, and you just know that Kevin Beauchamp, the quarterback, and fullback Nick Nicola could both smell that end zone.
As Beauchamp reaches out, it's hard for us to see, but Beauchamp has to stick that ball in there. Nicola has to grab it and put it away. It looks like maybe he pushed it through the stomach area of Nicola.
Oh, and that mishap puts Grand Blanc back to the 5, 4th and goal. They're going to go with a shotgun.
Watch that big tight end, number 84, come across there, Mike.
Boy, this drive's taken a long time. They really have to cash in. Just 3.5 minutes remaining in the
there
third.
He is.
Beauchamp in the corner.
There it
Goldie,
is.
touchdown. There it is. Oh, they went with the man. Wes Nolde, number 84.
He's a good tight end, Mike. There's no question. If we have a replay on that, watch him fight his way off the line of scrimmage. Watch the tight end if we can get it. We can't get a good job by Beauchamp here following him. And worked his way open. I tell you, he was not open early. He fought his way into the end zone. Nice job.
Boy, that drive took over 7.5 minutes by my count, Gino.
Let me tell you something. Beauchamp did a nice job staying with him, too.
I'm not sure exactly how you do this, but I've got an 11-play, 41-yard drive. Now watch, Gino,
First of all,
comment
watch
on
two concentrations here. Watch Beauchamp staying in there and watch the concentration by Nolte. Nice job. Nolde, I should say.
All right, 2-point conversion try. Beauchamp rolling right where his blocking is. Throws for the corner. No. Excellent timing on the diving defensive play by Corey Graham of the Chargers. Knocking, it looked like, Brock Cannon off the football on the far side. So it stays 16-6.
You know, Mike, I just saw one of my former teammates, Powers superstar in his high school days, Mike Leone, step into the box. I turned around and he's gone already. I know Mike's not that quick.
Well, he was just that quick in high school, and he had his moments at the University of Michigan, didn't he, Gino?
Yes, he is. A fine offensive tackle, Mike was. Both here at Powers and at Michigan, as we lined up next to each other at Michigan many times. But now I've got to go look for him. And I got to find him after the game. Boy.
Well, it was literally good to see him.
Yes, it was.
All right, there's a look at the return men for Powers. Deep for Powers, Mike Miller, number 10. And then on the far side, it looks like it's Rolando Tinnen. Either that or Engelman over there. No, it's Tinnen. And also Jason Cardani on the near side. Set to receive this kickoff from number 75, Wes Mall.
Woo-hoo, what a boot.
Oh, Wes really can hammer it. Drives Miller back all the way to his 3. Going east-west a lot, and he ran out of room. Boy, once again, excellent
Nice.
pursuit by that Grand Blanc kickoff coverage.
Deep kick and great coverage.
Boy, they started off Powers at their own 8-yard line in their first possession because of the prowess of the kick team, and now Powers not starting off much better at their own 14.
Well, if we go way back prior to the offensive drive of Grand Blanc, the key was the defense stood up and gave them the opportunity to start that drive in the first place. They had a good first series defensively, Grand Blanc did. They need another one to get back into the game.
Football fumbled. Oh, almost a costly mistake by the home side that time, but covering up the fumble there was the fullback. It looked to be Jack Mather. Yeah, Powers just had 4 plays on their opening second half possession. Grand Blanc obviously looking for a repeat of that. Still plenty of time left to go tonight. 2:53 left in the third. 16-6 Powers. And the quarterback Shosky giving it to Mather. And that time Mather goes right down, and he was tackled solely by Scott Duberg.
Defense running some games with the linebackers, moving them around a little bit, doing a nice job of filling the gaps.
Boy, and all of a sudden, that Grand Blanc team looks like they're collectively a step faster, and that Powers team collectively a step slower, huh?
Tell me this game isn't attitude, huh? Believing in yourself, playing hard, it's all in your head.
Shosky.
Big hole,
Big
huge
hole.
hole.
Mather blasts through. Oh, just taking on any tackler that dares to come in his path. First down. Oh, man.
Tom Skinner could almost have run through that hole. That's how big that hole was.
Mather out to his 33-yard line.
You like the way he runs or what, Mike? Man,
Oh, I do.
with strength, just a tough kid.
And you can almost feel that strength up to the press box. 33-yard line. Powers with a fresh set of downs. Back to Mather. That time The Mather tree got felled by number 42, Jason Smith. He's the defensive end for the Bobcats. 2nd and 8. Powers from the 35 now. 1.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Powers here at Holy Redeemer Field, 16, Grand Blanc 6. Powers led 16-0 at the half, but Grand Blanc has scored in the third. We've got a ball game again. High formation behind the quarterback, Shosky.
There's that option.
There's that option.
Well,
a lot of
great speed. Look at
running
that.
to daylight. See you later. Touchdown, Powers. Tailback Jason Cardani breaking it 67 yards.
65-yard touchdown.
Watch the replay, you'll see good execution, good pitch that time, and when he turned the corner, boom. The key block was by the wide out on the, you saw it on the top of your screen. Just enough. Tell me those wide receivers aren't important out there in the running game as well. Great block, good speed,
65-yard touchdown.
good play.
Now looks like we're going to have a 2-point conversion here. Five-play, 86-yard drive, and Cardani with a 67-yard touchdown run. And once he hit that hole, he really went.
Look at that.
Oh, an excellent pass there from the quarterback, Shosky.
Jeez.
And he got it in there to number 30, Mike Miner.
Wait a minute, Shosky can throw the football a little bit himself, huh?
What, did he peg that one in there?
He just hasn't needed to tonight, but if they need to,
He
can
got it
sing
through about 4 Bobcat defenders by my count. So Powers gets 8 points out of that drive and ups their lead from 16 to 24-6. Boy, did Powers ever react convincingly to that Grand Blanc touchdown, or what?
Just when you thought the momentum was shifting a little bit, and it was, the Powers offense comes out, executes perfectly.
You know, we talk about the quick strike capabilities of the Grand Blanc offense. How about the Powers offense?
Yeah, wait a minute.
Jeez, we've had a 26-yard touchdown run by fullback Jack Mather, and then his sidekick in the backfield, Jason Cardani, knocks one off for 67 yards and a touchdown. All right, here's the kickoff. Pat McCarthy doing it with the deep man, Jamal Stevens, and he wants the football. He wants to break off a big one.
He's going to get it. Here we go.
John Walker and Jason Truitt back with him. Walker at about his 20. Cutting and knocked down. An excellent individual tackle in the open field by John Reynolds.
That was a good play, Mike. If he doesn't make that tackle, we have possibly a huge gain on the play. He did a nice job that time, keeping the shoulder to the outside of the field, making the hit.
52 seconds left to go in the third. And we got the birthday balloons out. It's not your birthday, is it,
Well,
Gino?
I told him not to bring balloons. I'm embarrassed over those kind of things.
You told him specifically not to make a big deal out of it.
Yes, please, guys.
I'll talk to our crew after the game, I promise you.
Okay.
Offside.
Penalty against Powers. That's the first penalty of the second half.
Boy, Coach Tucker is just furious right now as he yells out to his team. You know, he doesn't like mental mistakes.
7 yards.
Doesn't like those penalties, those mental mistakes.
That's a free pass of 5 yards out to the 37-yard line. Grand Blanc 1st and 5. And Beauchamp gives it away to his tailback. I believe that was Rocky Hoskins, number 34. And nope, that was Truitt.
Number 33, Trout, the ball carrier.
Trout, rather.
Gain about 4, brings up a second one.
2nd and a yard. And that's going to be 3 periods of play here at Holy Redeemer Field. Our score, The teams essentially trading touchdowns. Powers 24, Bobcats at Grand Blanc 6. We'll be right back. We just had a fumble Beauchamp hit while he was attempting to hand the football off, and he wasn't able to catch up to the football in time. Powers recovers at the Grand Blanc 33-yard line.
Let me tell you, Beauchamp is playing hurt right now. The ankle is obviously bothering him as he limps off the field there. He just couldn't get going and never did have that football.
So Powers with 11:45 to go. 1st and 10 from the Bobcat 33. Play action. Rush coming from the weak side, and they got him. That was the linebacker.
It's a good thing. A good play. They brought the linebacker to get him, but I tell you what, 1/2 a second, tight end, wide open, touchdown.
He was that open downfield,
yes,
Gino?
Yeah. The defensive backs are really coming up hard right now, Mike. Well, I would too. I mean, if the opponent was just pounding the ball at me. But that time they caught him. And Grand Blanc makes a nice play, though. Give him credit.
Jason Smith with a sack. 2nd down, 16. Powers from the 39 of the Bobcats. Counter play inside. Jack Mather to the 36. That's not a bad play for Powers, as time is their ally. 10:44 to play in the contest, and they're leading 24-6. Ryan Sage into the ball game with a play as Grand Blanc rests for the next play assault. And quickly into the ball game, Cardani scored the last touchdown in spectacular fashion for the home side. 2 wideouts to the near side, and on the counter, Cardani off again to the 26, maybe 5-yard line, close to a 1st down. And he got a great hole over the right side of his offensive line there. Let's give credit to center Hammaker, right guard Ryan Johnson, and right tackle Aaron Jubar.
Give them credit all night, doing a really, really fine job.
Well, 4th and 2, and this could be real pivotal if Grand Blanc has any hopes of putting a scare into Powers yet tonight. 9:44 to play. They need to get a stop here. They're bunched up defensively. Here comes the blitz. And breaking through for the 1st down neatly is Cardani to the 21. Boy, Powers real tough right now.
You know, Mike, I like the way the Powers are. They're running in. They're changing up their offensive linemen. They're keeping them fresh. That's really something to be able to do that at the high school level.
This early in the season with this many juniors on the roster.
Yes.
They're picking up the program very quickly and very nicely. On the option, once again, Cardani dropping the football, and he was snowed under at about the 20, and actually may have gotten a little bit of forward progress there. They've had trouble running that option play tonight.
Yeah,
there's been a few fumbles.
They've had trouble hanging on to that football and pitching that football to where it belongs. So I'm sure they're going to work on that. We saw a perfect execution of that option and went for the touchdown. That's what happens when you do it right.
Yep. Clear as the night. Inside handoff. Big Jack Mather to the 16-yard line. He was tackled over there by the defensive end, Jason Smith. Got help from the cornerback coming up, number 7, Kevin Warren. Bill Tucker sends in the play to Mike Miner. 3rd down, and let's call it a long 5. Powers needs to get to the Bobcat 11-yard line. They're at the 16. And timeout, Powers. With 8:01 to go, and Powers leading handily 24-6 here. I've been very impressed with Flint Powers here in week number 2, Gino. They look to have another strong team, going to make a run for the conference championship, and they're going to pile up the points in Class Double B and make another strong push to get into the state high school football playoffs, and who knows, maybe make a dent there.
Isn't it incredible how consistent these good programs are? Year in, year out. When you establish that good, solid program, a coach there, one of the best in the state, in one program for 17 years, year in, year out. His teams are going to be competitive. No question about it. This year's no exception, you're right. I really like that offensive line of Powers. I think they're going to get better and better and better. Big, strong running backs.
Gino, speak to that a little bit more. Go a little bit more in depth while we wait for the action to pick up again. Word of mouth in a program. You've been with it at the college level at Michigan. How important is it from year to year, from team to team, earlier players passing the word along to players that follow of what's expected of them?
Oh, it's hugely important. The seniors, your fine programs are led by your fine seniors at any level as we get back to the game. But yes, it's very important. The freshmen and the sophomore and even the juniors have to look up to those seniors, and those seniors have to lead by example, and they do in the good programs.
High formation, and the handoff to the tailback, number 21, that's Engelman. Oh, and he got stopped, didn't get much on that one. Got it to maybe the 15. It's going to be 4th and 4 now.
Okay, defense, let's get ready to go, guys. Come on, let's go.
Boy, that clock just keeps running down. 7:30 to go in the contest. 18-point lead for Powers. Grand Blanc needs 3 scores. Oh, that's a lot to ask for. Another 4th down play, and on the option, and brought down, looks to be short of the first down, was Shosky by number 44 for the Bobcats. That's Eric Mather.
I will guarantee you one thing, Mike. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, Powers will be working on that option play. It's a little rough.
And that just that little hesitation by the quarterback Shosky there denied them the first down. I think if he had just not stopped even for an instant and run the football up the field, he would have gotten the first down. 7:05 to go, clock running. Grand Blanc on their own 13-yard line. Long way to go to pay dirt. And Beauchamp sets to work. Throws it down the near side for Stevens, too far. Double coverage over there against Jamal. Mike Miller and Aaron Cantley teaming up on the coverage.
Well, we're going to see Aaron Delaney now. There's no question about that. This team has to get back in the game, and they have the ability to throw the football. There's been some good coverage and good pressure by the defense tonight, but the fact is Beauchamp has not had one of his better games.
Brock Cannon to the right, Jamal Stevens to the left, out of the shotgun. Beauchamp, nice sit in there for Cannon, in stride, 30, and he is blasted at the 32-yard line. Mike Miller was one of the guys that got him, and it looked like he got as much of his own teammate as he did of Brock Cannon.
Mike, watch for offensive interference. It was a late flag that came in. The receiver pushed off as he made his cut. A real gutsy call by the official, but probably the right call. Watch at the bottom of your screen as he pushes right there, number 16, push number 10, Miller, right at the cut.
That's the 5th penalty for the Bobcats, unofficially tonight. Powers also has 5. And let's see how far that pushes the Bobcats back. I would imagine to about their 7-yard line. 5 penalties, 50 yards for the Bobcats. 5 penalties, 45 yards unofficially for Powers. So a good-looking play by Grand Blanc is negated. I want to pass along to you folks. Tom Skinner will be down on the field with our post-game show tonight. Be sure to stay with us for that. Loss of down, 3rd down, Grand Blanc from their 7. They need to go 93 yards for a touchdown, and they need 2 more after that.
Uh-oh.
And Beauchamp running
Nice
for
catch.
his life. Oh, almost a great catch by Nolde.
You give it to him. You give him the catch.
Did they give him the catch? Yes, they did, out to the 16-yard line. And Beauchamp, a great arm here.
Throw to this kid. This is a good football player, this Nolde. Nice catch.
Oh, it looked like
Finds a way to get open. He has good concentration. Hangs on to the football.
Well, it looked like Beauchamp was just running for his life and just trying to get rid of the football, and he really showed his arm strength there.
Needs to show it again here. Needs
4th
a
and
few.
8. Grand Blanc needs to get up to their 24. Beauchamp throws it for Nolde, picked off. Uh-oh, a little woof in there.
Yeah, but
Matt Riegel with the interception, the pass intended for Wes Nolde.
only saying interference. Let's watch it close here. Looked like it was a good defensive play. Yeah, it's hard to see with that angle.
2nd interception for Powers tonight. And they've got a 1st down at the 22 of the Bobcats with 5:48 to go. Shosky hands it away, and that is Engelman. Straight ahead. Powers is not going to do anything fancy here, I wouldn't think.
Well, I don't see why they need to. I mean, it's important for them to keep this drive going, to take the seconds, minutes off the clock.
Nice job. Good job, guys, okay? Nice job. Good rush there. Nice job, guys.
Matt Riegel, the new quarterback for Powers now. Number 18.
So what happened? You make an interception, you get to be quarterback, huh? Is that what happens?
We'll have to ask Bill Tucker
Yeah,
that. Is that
geez.
the way it works in the Powers football
You
program?
pick one off. Yeah, you're the quarterback. Go ahead.
That was Jason Cardini with the carry there over his left side, and it'll be a 3rd and 2 now at the 15-yard line at Grand Blanc.
I'm going to tell you something, Mike. There's not many players, if there is any, on the Power sideline who have not participated in this football game.
Yeah, you're right. Powers showed outstanding depth tonight as Cardini tries that Grand Blanc defensive line again. Boy, that makes Owasso's game against Powers in the season opener even more impressive. Boy, the
Yes.
Trojans must have something
Watch
if
out
they
for
almost
Owasso.
got a win over Powers.
See, there we go. There's the big 9. Yeah.
4th and 3. And handoff to Cardini. Shirks one tackler, and that may be enough to keep the Powers drive alive. Let's see where they spot the football.
That's called effort, Mike. He was hit 3-4 times and finally drilled at the end, and he got the 1st down. Individual effort right there. That's just desire. That's in the head more than anything else.
And that's something that the coaches point to when they watch the game film
yes.
the next day or two afterward, huh?
Once again, just an attitude.
1st down, Chargers at the 11-yard line with 4 minutes to go, leading 24-6. And the handoff inside to Engelman. Very short yardage. Powers just running game clock at this point. They've been able to control the tempo of the game for the most part with their inside running. Fullback Jack Mather, tailback Jason Cardini with able help from Ian Engelman. And Cardini again with a handoff from Riegel. Penalty flag down. It's going to go against the Chargers. And Grand Blanc may decline this one since they stopped the ball carrier after a little gain. Yep. They'll take the down. They need the football more than anything at this point. Next week for these two teams, Grand Blanc will return home to Bobcat country, take on the Clio Mustangs. Powers will travel to Davison to take on Dick DeLodge's Cardinals. And that'll be an important Big 9 conference contest. Handoff, twisting away from tacklers is Cardani, finally taken down by Kevin Warren. It'll be another 4th down. Powers has picked up 2 of 3 4th down conversions here in the final period. That's helped them run clock. 2.5 minutes to go in the contest. Powers leads it.
Mike, they're going for the 1st down. They have a fine kicker. That would be about a 25-yard field goal, somewhere in that area, but they've decided to take the time off the clock and go for the 1st. Yeah, whew, what a hole.
Big hole
and
for Ian
good
Engelman.
decision.
Yeah, he just escaped all tacklers there.
Bounced it to the outside and gone.
Yeah, the Grand Blanc tacklers kept seeing the legs there, but by the time they moved the hands to grab the legs were gone.
Gone. Once again, offensive line opened up a crease at the line of scrimmage. The quick back got through it in a hurry and bounced it to the outside. Execution.
30-6 Powers. 2:18 to go. And the extra point again from Jason Tremblay. The holder will be starting quarterback Tim Shosky. Snap good, Shosky places it down, Tremblay gets it up and away quickly and nicely, and it's good. 31 for Powers, 6 for Grand Blanc now.
You know, it's been a few years, Mike, that since I've witnessed a Powers Grand Blanc football game as lopsided as this one's been tonight. Powers basically on offense has been able to do whatever they wanted to do, with a few exceptions. Their defense has played strong, shut down a potentially powerful Grand Blanc offense.
Yep, you're right. It's been a very impressive display of football tonight by the Powers Chargers. 8-play, 22-yard drive, and essentially what it was Powers converting on consecutive 4th downs to pin the ball in the end zone. And they're getting everybody involved in the touchdown parade now. Jack Mather scored the first touchdown. Engelman has scored twice now on runs of 2 and 11 yards. And Jason Cardani has scored on a 67-yard touchdown run. So all 3 of the ball carriers that see the ball regularly for Powers have scored. That's Jamal Stevens. He brings the ball up to about the 25, maybe 6-yard line with 2:10 to go. And we might see some freer substituting now, I would imagine, from both coaches Delaney and Tucker.
Oh, for sure we're going to see some players on the Power side come in that maybe haven't played as much as the coaches would like to have played tonight. They're going to be there on the defense, and you're right, probably some offensive players will come in too, but Grand Blanc has to do something to get that offense clicking, that potentially powerful offense that they've had. They just haven't hit tonight, haven't clicked.
Yeah, another opportunity for them to work on their offensive game. And that is the quarterback, Jeff Blanc. Oh, for Franzel, and the ball was right there, but broken up nicely by the Powers coverage. This time, Ryan Sage right on the football.
This kid has an arm. He can throw. This Blanc kid can throw.
Boy, the Powers coverage tonight in their backfield has been unerring. Boy, you know
he's just step for step, stride for stride with the receiver. Player down. It's too bad to see that. I don't like to see that at this level, at any level.
You know, Powers has been very impressive in so many ways, but geez, particularly so with their secondary. It's just been very tough for Grand Blanc to find anybody open downfield tonight.
Here's my buddy, Mike Leone. I knew he'd be back. He's fast. I knew he'd come back. How you do, Mike? Huh? He looks good, doesn't he?
He looks like he's ready to suit up again, huh?
What's that 6 call? You remember the 6 call, Mike? Huh? Well, double team. That's right. I had to carry him all the time, though. You know.
Jeez. Mike, I'm prepared to hand over my headset to you so I can make sure you get equal time here against Gene.
I saw you step in earlier. I waved.
Here's the Comcast broadcast to come up. The Indians of Flint Central against Southwestern Academy. The game is on Friday, September 15th, a week from today. And then your air dates, Monday the 18th and Tuesday the 19th. And then we're going to follow that up in week 4 with Hamady against Atherton. The Hamady Hawks with an 8-game winning streak going over 2 seasons. And your air dates. 2nd down and 10. Blind rolls left. Gets away from that rush, but just for a moment. Now he's got
to tuck that football a little bit, Mike.
Yeah, so that was a little dangerous. Travis Perry slung him out of bounds, and we're under 1.5 minutes left to go in the contest.
So, Mike, what do you think about our Michigan team this year? How are they going to do?
Oh, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Oh, we got Mike and Mike now. The Mike and Mike show. All right. Mike Leone is with me now, and Mike, talking Michigan football just for a moment. Boy, a nice 2-0 start, huh?
They look good. I'm impressed with the quarterback, and the rest of the team looks like they're playing with a lot of confidence, and that's what they need to do.
Yeah, for a freshman, a true freshman, as I believe Dreisbach is, he looks like he's really got the take-charge attitude that you need.
Yeah, he does, especially in the Virginia game. He looked great.
All right, here's Jeff Blind. Trying to wriggle away, and he just threw it to an open part of the field, and that'll get the flag out. Memphis this week should be.
How'd they get on the schedule?
I don't know. I'm not sure. You know, fellas, I'm not sure anybody knows how they got on the schedule.
I heard Elvis was playing quarterback.
The only Elvis I know of playing football right now is Gerbach. He's a little bit further west. But you might have something there, Mike. There's a good look at the Powers coaching staff there. Marking out instructions right to the end. You see a lot of high school football in the area too, Mike. Have you seen anything so far that might indicate to you that Powers will have an especially good season?
They look good. I'm impressed. They look quick. I think it's more important to be quick than it is big in the Big 9 here, and I think it's paying off for them.
Blind? We just got rid of it. He was going to be swallowed up by that rush and almost intercepted right back there for Powers. Was Ben Krasner in the ball game. And taking over on downs will be Powers with 1:03 to go and leading 31-6. And it's been a convincing performance for Powers tonight. What do you see from Graham Blanc's side? The kinds of things that they might look to improve upon?
Well, they look like they're a team that is a little bit bigger, but like I said earlier, it looks like they're just getting out. There's just more speed on the Powers side. The kid that I'm watching is a nephew of mine, number 85 for Powers, is a tight end. His name is Ryan Zingerle.
Oh yeah.
He's about 210, 6'3", and it's really the first time I've got a chance to watch him play. He's a senior, and it's one of the reasons I'm up here today is to watch him. And I was pretty impressed with him. He's come a long way. He enjoys playing and gets excited, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, good. Is this his first year in the varsity?
It's his second year, but it's his first year that he's gotten a lot of playing time, and he contributed well last week, and he looks good this week.
Okay, good. Are there any particular pointers that you might be passing along to him that maybe we can eavesdrop in on a little bit?
I just keep telling him to never turn his rear end to the sideline. Always keep it parallel to the line of scrimmage, and it's important. You see it, and you don't get it coached very often in high school, but you get it drilled into you when you get to the college ranks, and it's really important for a lineman to stay parallel with the line of scrimmage so he doesn't turn himself to block the hole or to lose the defensive man. It's very important to stay in front of him.
Always plant and move forward then.
Right. Never turn your rear end to the sideline.
Good sound advice for any aspiring offensive lineman, I would say.
Gene Johnson knew that well.
Did he really?
Yeah, he never turned his rear end to the sideline.
Well, would you say that was his best football attribute?
No, Gene Johnson had great hands. He was he played well. He was a great ball player.
Well, we've come to a close here. The clock's winding down on that last quarterback sneak by Matt Regal. Mike, thanks for stopping up. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Take good care of a good fall and go blue.
Okay, great.
And we'll bring Gene Johnson back in as the players line up for the sportsmanlike handshake down the line. Powers 31 and Grand Blanc 6. Powers was never seriously threatened in this ball game. They led after the first quarter 3-0. Then they really took firm charge, scored 13 points in the second quarter. Grand Blanc unable to respond on the scoreboard. It was 16-0 at the half. In the third quarter, both teams traded touchdowns. Grand Blanc looked like they were moving back into the football game there in the third quarter. They put together a nice 11-play drive, and Wes Nolde capped it off with a 5-yard touchdown pass on fourth down from Kevin Beauchamp. It was a 16-6 game at that point, but then Powers struck back decisively and swiftly. They scored on a 67-yard touchdown run by Jason Cardani after Grand Blanc's kickoff team had pinned Powers at the 14 on that possession. Powers also got a 2-point conversion out of that escapade, and it was 24-6. Powers was never headed after that. They added a touchdown and an extra point in the fourth quarter for your 31. We'll be back with Tom Skinner on tap right after this. Powers the winner, 31-6 over the Grand Blanc Bobcats. A 31-6 victory over arch rival Grand Blanc. Holy Redeemer Field tonight. A 31-6 victory over arch rival Grand Blanc. Tom Skinner is ready down at field level with victorious head football coach Bill Tucker. Men?
And thanks, Mike Katowski and Gene Johnson, talking with Coach Bill Tucker, who tonight, at least in the record books that the media keep, I don't know how many of these records you keep and how many you're aware of, but win number 115 in your career, Bill, and win number 2, most importantly, in the 95 campaign. What were your concerns coming into tonight's ball game?
Well, we changed our defense this year, and one of the things that we did was we use a lot more man coverage, and I knew that Grand Blanc could throw the ball well. We were concerned about being able to contain the perimeter and them throwing the ball deep, but the kids played real well.
Talking about the man defense, were you concerned with the flags on your man defense for the interference and trying to keep up with their receivers, or was it enough that they were hanging in there and you were happy with that?
Well, you're always concerned with flags, but I thought the kids were on them pretty well. I mean, you're not going to get an interference call unless kids covering a guy pretty well, and I thought that our deep backs, our corners, covered their receivers real well, and just so happens every once in a while you're going to get one of those flags, but you get them playing man, you get them playing zone also.
You begin to get to their quarterback, you get putting pressure on. That definitely helps. Best pass defense is a great pass rush.
That's right, Tom. With the type of kid that we have this year, we lost some big guys. Fred Schultz transferred to Kersley, and we had Jason Grades in the middle last year, and those two guys could handle anything. This year, what we're doing is we're putting 9 guys committed to the run, and we're telling the other 2 guys, you just cover the outside.
A couple of times that forced them to call timeouts when the quarterback got to the line of scrimmage, looked out there, and saw too many numbers up close, I think, which precipitated his calling a timeout, and that's got to make your defense really get pumped up.
Well, it allows them to play a lot more aggressively. They had 3 intentional grounding calls tonight. You don't see that very often, and our kids just played very, very aggressive defense, and I like what we're doing now, and I think the kids like it, and hopefully we can keep it up.
Offensive side of the ball, not bad either. 31 points up there after